Hey friends, today I'm telling you all about how I became a firefighter's wife and just a little bit of advice. And maybe you're dating a firefighter or married to one, and this is just kind of from my perspective. So let's get to it. So I met my husband, my firefighter, in 2018 on a dating app, and he took me out on our first date, and we have been together ever since. We just knew that it was meant to be. It was a God thing from that first date, and so I am so grateful. But with that comes some challenges, right? Dating a firefighter, being married to a firefighter, especially when you don't grow up in that culture, it is kind of a culture shock, right? Maybe you're experiencing that some of yourself. And so we met in 2018 in February, we got engaged in August, and we got married in December. So when you know, you know. But it was definitely a learning curve. Especially for me. I guess it wasn't necessarily, maybe, in navigating a new relationship in the fire service and that sort of thing. But I was in college when we met, and he was working already as a firefighter. And let's see. Just trying to think some advice. So some of the challenges obviously were he's not mad at you because he's not texting you back. He's probably fighting a fire in a burning building or saving somebody's life. And so it's okay if he's on shift. Some shifts he's gonna be able to talk to you, some shifts he's not gonna be able to, and that's okay. And I think the more that I grow as a fire wife, the more that I've come to terms with that's okay. Life's happening here, life's happening there, and we will connect at some point during the day, even if it's for just a few minutes on the phone to say, hey, how's things going? I'm still alive, things are fine, the house isn't burned down, and we typically pray together at the end of the night, and that is probably just one of my most sacred times, favorite times that we have together. And so it's just navigating that, knowing that he's not mad at you. It just comes with some challenges when you're used to oh, well, everybody's on their phone. Everybody always has their phone. They can talk to you in a moment's notice. It's kind of different in that aspect. Now, I am blessed that the fire departments that my husband's been part of, I'm able to go and have dinner with him, spend time with him, and so I'm really blessed in that aspect that I am able to go and do those sorts of things and be there. I know a lot of firehouses, they tend to be family oriented, maybe not for a meal. Just depends if they're paying and that sort of thing, how that's working. But definitely check that out. If you can go for a meal, why not? Even if you have kids, take the kids. They love to visit the firehouse. They love to go see dad. It's a great time. So I think that is just making sure that you're still spending quality time together is an important thing too. I work from home, which I'm so grateful, but I didn't always work from home. When we first got married, obviously when we first got together, I was in college, and so then when we got married, I ended up working 2 full-time jobs shortly after that, and so that's a lot. When you have a firefighter working 24, 48-hour shifts, you're working 2 full-time jobs, it can be a lot, but just making sure that you're still creating that quality time together is important. And the biggest thing that I can say now is with that quality time, that quality time can be sitting in the living room watching TV. It can be just spending that quality time together. You don't even have to really talk, because when they come home from shift, a lot of times it's their time to decompress and not have to worry about everything else that's going on. I mean, sometimes I do, but like I keep the house together while you're gone. And I know we don't have kids yet, but they still need that time to kind of decompress from what their shift has been. And so making sure that you are gracious in giving them that, but then also spending that quality time together, kind of navigating that. It can be hard, it can be tricky, but just communicating with each other your needs, what you want, as long as they're realistic. And that's the important thing. Communicating, but coming to a realistic the word that I'm looking for is not you come to terms together. It's not the word that I'm looking for, but I'll think of it in a minute. So just like coming to those terms together, that agreement together, it'll come eventually. So that you know you're communicating well and effectively, like, hey, I need a little bit, like, I need a date night, just the two of us, some alone time, some quality time. And like, I know when you come home, like, you need just a little bit of time to decompress, maybe take a nap, and that's okay. Hey, you take a nap, I'll handle things here, or I'll take the kids to the park, or we'll go play outside for a little bit, whatever that needs to look like for you guys. Like, just making sure that you're communicating that effectively, and that you're giving grace with it, you're being patient with it, and I think that that is important too. Having grace, being flexible. You guys, I mean, they miss a lot of things. They miss holidays. They miss games. They miss certain things. And it's not always, like, it can't always be avoided. It's going to happen. They're going to miss holidays because they work that shift. And that's okay. Doing things on your own, going to family events on your own. It's okay. It's okay to go by yourself. It's okay to go to church by yourself. That is something that I have kind of grown into. I haven't always wanted to go to church by myself because I'm like, oh, like, not what will other people think of me, but maybe that's you. Maybe you're like, what will other people think? My husband isn't here. They never see him. They probably think he doesn't exist. Like, that happens. And that's okay. They know the service that he's doing and the job that he has and what that entails most of the time. And if not, that's okay too, because at the end of the day, you're going, and that matters. And so I think the real thing is just continuing to live life, but also living life together when you can. And that's okay. The beautiful thing about it is that he can be home on a random Tuesday and everybody else is at work. But guess what? He gets to be home on that random Tuesday, and we could go have a date. We could go do things. You guys, there's like amusement parks and stuff that on Tuesdays, they're probably not busy. And so that's really fun that you get to go on a Tuesday when everybody else is at work. So there is always a silver lining to everything. And I think just looking for the beauty and the joy in the chaos, if you will, of being married to a firefighter, dating a firefighter. I think the only other thing that I would suggest, you know, not everybody is going to understand your situation. The fire service, even family, sometimes doesn't understand, and that is okay. I know that sometimes that can be tricky and that can be hard when you feel like you have to explain, hey, yeah, so they are not going to be at this family function, or I may not get to come to this family function because of this reason, because he's working, because of whatever, and that is okay. Give yourself grace in that, and knowing that it really is okay. It's God first, then your immediate family, and that is how it should be. And so, not saying to use that as an excuse to get out of going to things, or not going to things, but the beauty of it is that you have that flexibility, and I think communication is just really key. Communication makes a big difference. Being able to communicate well and effectively on what you need, what he needs, coming to a common ground, an agreement that's realistic for the two of you and for your relationship, because every relationship looks different. Every fire relationship looks different. Every person is different. And so that's what it is. But I think the main thing is just being really realistic and communicating your expectations. Not setting your expectations low, but giving yourself grace that things are not always going to be possible. Like, as much as you want him home for Christmas, if that's his shift day, he probably isn't going to get to be there for Christmas, and that's okay. Maybe you can take Christmas to the firehouse. Maybe Christmas can happen in the morning before he leaves for shift. Maybe Christmas can happen the next day or Christmas Eve. And just kind of navigating that as you can. Again, communication is what it all comes back to, and having a firm foundation for your marriage, for your relationship. Our marriage, our relationship has always been founded in Jesus. And so I think that that is something that is really beautiful and helps us navigate and communicate, and ultimately know that we are in this together. We're not pitted against each other. It's just life. And that is how it is, and that's okay. But because we do have a firm foundation in our marriage and what our marriage was founded on, like, we're willing to fight against life to make it work. I think often we give up because things get hard. And I can tell you, like, our marriage has never been, it's not perfect. We're two unperfect people. Nobody is perfect. And it's a constant growing, and you grow into that. You grow into your relationships with each other. And as long as you're committed and you are on a firm foundation, you're building your marriage on a firm foundation like Jesus. Jesus is a firm foundation. He is our firm foundation. And so I know that whatever life throws at us, we're going to be okay, because our marriage is founded on Jesus, and ultimately he is the one that is over our lives, and his plans are far greater and more beautiful than we could ever imagine. And I think that a lot of peace comes from that. There is a lot of flexibility that goes into being married to a firefighter, and you become very independent. I have never truly been a super independent person. I like being dependent on my husband. I love that he is a strong, hardworking man, and that he provides for our family. And I'm fortunate that I do get to stay home. I do work from home, and that I get to be a wife and a homemaker and be over our home, in charge of the day-to-day. And I have become very independent in that. I changed the water filters today, like, just things like that I never thought I would do, and that is okay. Learning to do things on your own and that independence is okay. And I think the hardest part is when he's home, relinquishing that, being dependent again, and kind of just flipping that switch to, I no longer have to be independent. I can be dependent because you're home. Is something that is hard, but it's a work in progress, and that is okay. It can be a work in progress. Again, it all just comes back to that effective communication and the foundation that your marriage and your relationship is built on. And so if that can be my couple pieces of advice for you, is just being willing to effectively communicate. I know that I used to be really childish, and if something was bothering me, like, I'm not gonna say it, like, blah, 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 it's fine. But, not saying it, we found, just made our day worse. Because, oh, you're mad at me, oh, I did something, constantly overthinking it causes that that chaos, that stirring of a bad mood or a bad attitude. And so just being willing to effectively communicate. Now, it can be something as simple as, I really don't want to go do those dishes right now. Or, I really want a cold glass of water, and you don't want to get up. Like, it could be something small that's like bugging you, and just because you don't want to burden him with that, it's okay to be like, this is just really what it's on my mind. This is really just what's bugging me, is I really want a cold glass of water, but I don't want to get up and get it. So nothing's wrong. I'll get up and get it in a minute, but I really want some French fries. Like, whatever it is, it's okay to communicate that, and so that there's that open line of communication, that you are not constantly in that kind of battle zone of stepping on eggshells because, oh, you're mad, oh, you're mad, and it really just was a miscommunication. So, effective communication is probably one of the most important things. And then that firm foundation of Jesus Christ is always going to be what helps us get through those hard times, those day-to-days, those hard shifts. Is just that we have Jesus, and our marriage is founded on Jesus, and that we were created beautifully and with purpose, and that our marriage is a union together. And so we can get through whatever that looks like, those hard days, those hard seasons. We can still make it through that, and we know that we'll get to the other side, and we can find joy in those seasons. And so those are my couple pieces of advice. If you want to know more, I didn't answer something, definitely feel free to let me know in the comments. I would love to know, what is something, if you are a fire wife or dating a fire fighter, what is something that maybe you have questions about? How do you navigate this? What does this look like? How do you work through this? Or whatever that is. Or maybe what's one of the best pieces of advice that you've ever been given as a fire wife? So I would love to know, and I'll catch you guys later.